welcome along to Bardonecchia Campo Smith, the final day of action here at the Torino 2025 FISU Winter Games, and it's the men's slalom. As always with slalom, it's 2 runs. Combined time of both runs will decide the medal. Fastest 30 from the first run go in reverse order in the second run. Very steady snowfall here now, as you can see. Rather cloudy, but this slalom track comes down through the trees down into Campo Smith. It's more than okay to race slalom here today. Here is the course. It's set by Alexis Mercier of France. 42 turning gates in 44. Very direct out of the gate, then the offset comes. And it is the left-hand set of gates as we look up the hill that will be skied first, then they'll be cleared, and we'll ski the right-hand set of gates in the second run. Well, prestigious title, this one, as we have a look at the start list. The top 15 seeds are drawn in a random order, then we go in the FIS points, 16 all the way through to 106 from 41 countries. Final day of action gets underway. The men's slalom brings the curtain down on this Alpine program at the Torino 2025 FISU Winter Games. And Nicholas Gastrein of Austria is the first out on track and gives us a chance to have a look at this pattern of gates set by one of the French coaches, and he's out. Bosse Mikkelsen of Sweden, the 21-year-old with 2 Europa Cup starts, is out of the gate. All of his top 5s have come in Sweden, bar 2, one of which came this season, a 5th in Levi in Finland. Quick through the verticale dancing feet. 36th in the men's giant slalom. Very hard under ski this track. Worked on hard yesterday in the women's slalom. Water and salt applied. It froze overnight, and good conditions, and Mikkelsen sets the time 41:04. Through the gloom, Stefano Pizzato of Italy. Pizzato 4th in the giant slalom at Junior Worlds last year. And he was 8th in a national championship race in Kronplatz 10 days ago. Italy had 2 bronze medals in the women's races. Margherita Cecere taking bronze in the giant slalom and slalom. And here, Pizzato has skied nicely, and he leads by 2/10. It's Axel Lindqvist, the 4th ranked racer in the field. 2 World Cup appearances, came back in 2023, and well, what the 2 races they were. Kitzbühel and Schladming on the Sunday and Wednesday the same week in January 2 years ago. And of course, it is Kitzbühel this weekend on the men's World Cup tour. And Lindqvist going nicely. Had his 2nd best Europa Cup result this season with a 16th place in Val di Fassa in Italy. And 40:84 is the time to beat, and he's done that by half a second. Lindqvist lowers the clock. Lucas Kongsholm of Sweden now. 18 Europa Cup slalom races. His 3rd best result came in the last race, which was a 27th. 2 slalom podiums, including a win in a FIS slalom race in Sweden this season. Kongsholm solid through this middle section, inside to the finish now. Nicely done from the Swede. 3 gates from home, 40:34. Oh, and he's bettered that by half a second. Kongsholm flying down the first run. Koyama Takayuki of Japan now, the 3rd ranked racer here. He's raced 4 slaloms on the World Cup this year. Didn't qualify for the first two, didn't finish the first run of his last 2 outings, which were Adelboden and Wengen, 2 of the toughest hills on the World Cup Tour. And Koyama trying to better the time of Kongson with 39.84. He's outside it, 0.49. Not happy, Koyama. Kalin Zlatkov of Bulgaria. Well, the Bulgarian Alpine racing team on a high after Albert Popov, won in Madonna di Campillo, and the Zlatkov, who's the second-ranked slalom skier here, just struggling on those early turns. Made his World Cup debut in Levy this season, didn't finish the first run. He's got to the last 2 world champs representing Bulgaria. How close can he get to Kongson, who was electric down this track inside of the finish? Couple of gates from home here is Zlatkov, 39.84, goes 7.46 off the pace. Tino Stucki of Switzerland now. Stucki 5th in the Alpine combined, 17th in the Super G. Last 8 podiums have all come in slalom, including 2 third places in Arula this season. Stucki part of the team that won the Alpine, the team parallel silver. Next team, we're just jumping into that left footer. And Stucki, a couple of gates from home, 39.84. He's not going to beat that. 5th, 0.63 off the pace. Sweden again in the start hut. They're packing the top 15. This is Gustav Lindqvist. Gustav, the 6th ranked racer here. No finishes in his last 3 slalom races. Okay from Lindqvist. You can see slightly further forward than Kitakubu before him. Into the finish he comes. Lindqvist, he's 9.89 seconds off the pace. So Joe Lutolf of Switzerland, the highest ranked slalom racer here. Can Switzerland find themselves on the top step of the podium in this final race? Just looks a little uncomfortable on those opening turns, does the Swiss racer. The arms just dropping below the hips or behind the hips, which means the weight goes backwards. He doesn't look as fluid as Lucas Kongson, who is our leader. I just wonder whether or not a higher bib number is what was required to get close to the time. I'll set a quick time, a little of 6.88. Chance for a second run charge in touch, but there's quite a distance. Paul Silvestre of France won a giant slalom race in Bulgaria only a couple of days ago, 2nd in the slalom, 10th in the GS here in Bardonecchia when we were racing up in Melizet, which is just a little bit further up the valley, only about 2 kilometers by car. You can ski over there in about 25-30 minutes with a couple of lifts. Silvestre is 5th, 0.53 off the pace. Thomas Barata from Spain. No, he straddled the second gate. He straddled the second gate. Oh, dearie me. I was about to say Spain on such a high, but that is a big error from Barata. Bib 16 is Australia's Hugh McAdam. McAdam made his World Cup debut in Levy this season. didn't finish the first run, then raced in Alpine, didn't qualify for the second run there. Some nice turns at the top of this challenge. Now top 10 separated by 1.2 seconds. And here comes the Australian now, 39.84, 1.09. He creates the top 10. Here are the results. Lucas Kongsholm of Sweden will be last out the start hut of the top 30. Zlatkov of Bulgaria in second position. Japan's Koyama Takayuki in third. The second run is set up nicely with the top 4 separated by half a second. The second run of the men's slalom here at the Torino 2025 FISU Winter Games underway. Lib 24, Clemens Rettenvander of Austria. Rettenvander, 20 years of age. Good second run charge by Palmer. Be interesting to see how many spaces he can make up. Rettenvander doing nothing wrong here on these turns. Didn't finish the first run of the giant slalom. He was 9th in a FISU slalom race in Austria back at the start of January. And here Rettenvander, oh yeah, really lowering the clock. A 2-time medalist here in Torino, Loic Schaab. 800ths his advantage over our leader, Clemens Rettenvander. And Schaab, who was so aggressive in the Alpine combined. Oh, and he's too aggressive here. And it's, well, 2 medals and 2 DNFs. David Horvath of Austria had their best slalom run in the Alpine combined to move up 11 places from 27th to 16th. Horvath so far looking pretty accomplished. 1:21.49 is the time that he's trying to reel in. His advantage at the top 1800s. Not a lot to play with at all, so needs to be really quick, and these are direct. 1:21.49. He's missed it. 1700ths.
When you want.
Now just 10 remain for the fastest 30 from the first run. First then is Australia's Hugh McAdam. 1.23 seconds. Faster than Rettenvander of Austria, who leads the way, who's already made up 12 places in the second run. Big, big scheme from Rettenvander. Can he find a run that will take him to the top of the leaderboard? Who knows? Anything can happen if you get yourself down to the bottom in one piece. Great work from the Australian. Here comes McAdam now, and he's got it. We've got a new leader by 0.34. Stefano Pizzato of Italy, Italy's last chance to find a medal in the men's competition here in Torino 2025. Now Pizzato just had 900ths of a second over McAdam, who leads, and that is a big mistake that might well cost him. Made his World Cup debut last season in Bansko in that really warm weekend that led to the cancellation of the Sunday race. And Pizzato trying to get in front of 1:21.15. Oh, I tell you what though, it was littered with errors, but it was quick. Pizzato leads the way. So Gustav Lindqvist of Sweden, 8th quickest after the first run, just 1100ths he's got in the bank over our leader Pizzato of Italy. Quick feet from Lindqvist. 1100's not a great deal to play with, but has he done enough? Coming into the last part of this challenge, just this diagonal verticale, sorry. Got to be precise on these closing turns, perhaps not as precise as Pizzato. No, he goes second. McAdam down into third. So Joel Lutolf of Switzerland on FIS ranking points. He's the #1 slalom racer in this field, but he was only 7th quickest after the first run. He's 1200ths faster than Pizzato, but 8800ths slower than Kongsholm, the leader after run 1. 24 years of age, 5 World Cup races to his name, but none since February of 2023. And has he done enough to better the time of Stefano Pizzato? 1:20.43. These are quick closing turns. Lutolf to take it away from Pizzato. He's missed it by 0.29 of a second. 1200ths was not enough. Sweden's last chance for gold rests on the shoulders of Gino Stucki. 3700ths quicker than our current leader Pizzato. At the same time, trying to make up 0.63 of a second to our leader Kongsholm from the first run. Stucki, a silver medalist in the mixed team Alpine, and that looked a little heavy. 0.37, is it enough for the Swiss racer to take it away from Pizzato? Here he comes now. No, it's not. It's not good enough for the podium, and he knows it. He knew the mistakes were there. France's last chance for a medal. They haven't won the men's slalom at the FISU Winter Games since 1975. Can Paul Silvestre bring that run to an end? Right, 0.53 to the leaders, 0.47 to Pizzato, who is currently in first place. And that looked fairly heavy on that right-footed turn as he flew through the air onto the turn. Silvestre has 4 slalom podiums this season on the FIS circuit, but that's a huge mistake, and that surely's cost him. It has, by 1500ths. He was skiing so nicely, but that is the error that costs him potentially top spot. Huge disappointment. Lindqvist has to move away, and this is Axel Lindqvist. Half a second. Well, this is interesting. He's half a second faster than Pizzato from the first run, and he's half a second slower than Kongsholm, the leader from the first run. So he's right in the middle here, is Axel Lindqvist. Which way will it crumble for him? Will it go the right way and he goes top of the pile, or does it go the other and he misses the podium? These are precise direct turns from Axel Lindqvist of Sweden. Pattern of gates here set by Nicholas Reiner, a Swedish coach. And these are good turns from Lindqvist. Clean and precise to this point. He's just got about 10 more gates to go through the verticale on the diagonal. Here he comes now, 1:20.43. We're going to have ourselves a new leader. No, we are not. It's nowhere near quick enough. 6500ths off the pace. And Axel Lindqvist drops below Gustav Lindqvist. So the fastest 3 now remain from the first run. And here is the first of them. Koyama Takayuki. Japan last won this race back in 1991. 5100ths, his advantage over Pizzato. 4900ths slower than Kongsholm from the first run. Koyama, the 3rd ranked racer in this field. Ooh, almost gets caught on the inside, does the Japanese athlete. Made his World Cup debut in Alta Badia earlier this season. There's quality in this men's slalom field. But who's going to come out on top? Pizzato just needs to see off one more racer to take a medal, and he can't see off Koyama. Japan going to top spot with 2 remaining at the top of the hill. Well done, Koyama Takayuki. Kalin Zlatkov of Bulgaria, just 300ths of a second he has in hand over Koyama. Bulgaria last medalled in this race back in 1989. Their last win came in 1987. Quick turns from Zlatkov. But are they going to be quick enough? Oh, he sort of jumps into that right-footed turn on the blue gate, through the penultimate verticale, now the diagonal verticale. Nicely done. The time he's trying to get in front of is 1:20.32. Here comes Zlatkov. He's missed it, and he's missed the podium. Pizzato skis himself onto the podium. He's moved up 6 places. The final racer from the quickest 30 from the first run, about to go. Lucas Kongholm of Sweden. Here we go then. Kongholm, 0.49 of a second, faster than our current leader, Koyama Takayuki of Japan. Can he bring it home? He's had to deal with the nerves and the pressure of being the last man out of the start hut after the first run. These are quick turns right on the edge here for Kongholm. His coach has set this pattern against. That's a mistake out on the left-hand ski. He can't afford too many more of those as he comes into this final pitch. The verticale is coming up. This is the penultimate verticale. Then he will go off skier's left, come back diagonally across the piste. Here we go then, 1:20.32 to take gold away from Koyama. He's missed it, and he's missed the podium. Lucas Kongholm can't convert a first run lead. And delight to Koyama Takayuki of Japan, who takes the gold medal. Stefano Pizzato gives Italy their first medal in the men's Alpine here in Torino. And Paul Silvestre of France skis into 3rd place. Great skiing from Pizzato, who made up 7 places to get on the podium. And it is delight for Japan. Koyama Takayuki of Japan wins the final Alpine skiing race of Torino 2025. Pizzato takes silver. Paul Silvestre of France the bronze medal with just 0.26 of a second separating the top 3.